All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this final day of the year. I was going to say Friday, but it's actually Thursday, December 31st. Welcome on back, folks, for our last, of course, meeting of the year. Let's get a quick sound check to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. It goes across the board for all of us live inside the Cyber Group room and for all of us streaming on social media live here, Facebook Live, YouTube. Welcome on back. Great to see Jose, Mike, Debbie, Ron, Lori, Leda, Bonnie, the ladies of the room there. Troy, great to see you as well. Perfect. All right, so loud and clear from everybody. Should be good to go. Let me get my BNGO Pro up here. No class today. Last couple days, we were doing the Phase 3 stock course, so wanted to move quick. I want to take my sweet time here today. So if we even go after 3 o'clock, no biggie. So for right now, let's just talk about CAN, because I'll be honest, I played ignorant to the news all day on this trade. This is actually a stock we were following back. I mean, you could see it on the daily chart, but from mid-November, early December, it was moving up really nicely. And it was actually a pretty liquid stock, tight spread, a lot of volume on the book, just like you're seeing live right now. So we've had our eye on this trade for a bit. It was up big in pre-market. I was honestly lazy this morning. So maybe I did post the news from much earlier, but I don't remember it right now. I just checked on BNGO Pro. I'll copy and paste for all of us here across the board on social media first, and then for all of us inside the trading room. But essentially, Canon shares up 40%. Company is a China-based designer of integrated circuits for Bitcoin mining. That's the key phrase there. Bitcoin mining. So, I guess it's another crypto trade. We've seen Riot, we've seen Mara, we've seen a bunch of other companies dip their assets into Bitcoin themselves, like GRNQ recently. BTBT, we'll talk about next year, of course. But yeah, I mean, CAN for right now, actually pretty interesting. I did not know that until literally live right now. I'll be very fair with you on that. So, I already kept the stock on my side list since mid-November, just on and off. We would look at it, and it's not to say I traded it all the time, but obviously now going forward, I will. So, yeah, for right now, with the way it's moving right now, near the highs heading into the afternoon, definitely going to start by putting this on our main list. All right, folks. All right, so next up, BTBT, and I should go into why the market's popping right now. You can see the Dow popping up pretty heavily. So we'll talk about that next, perhaps. But BTBT, I did reference just before, so I'd be remiss to not go over this here. So BTBT, Bit Digital, we talked about this during the afternoon meeting here, just earlier in the week. I mean, another Bitcoin company, like mining Bitcoin, that is rather. So this one's relatively new. Broke all-time highs over the last couple of days and still near the highs heading into the afternoon. So, man, this thing's a machine, literally and figuratively. So, yeah, BTBT, needless to be said, we're just going to put this on our main watch list. Now, contrary to CAN, I don't know what the float is on for this BTBT trade, but, the spread's opening up a bit. The order book's pretty thin. Tier sizes on level 2 are small. So, just like we've covered in the Phase 2 course, actually from last month, we did this more so, but, I know Fausto was talking about it in the Phase 3 course just yesterday. So, in terms of small tier sizes, it creates a more volatile trade. So, this thing has been amazing, just moving up and up and up from start to finish here so far. But, it comes with some big shakes just basically minute by minute. You can see up it goes, down it comes back down here. So got to be careful on this trade. So yeah, BTBT CAN, just near the highs, at the highs right now. So we'll start by putting them on our main list. All right, there should be one more. I want to look at it pretty quick, actually. Then we'll talk about the Dow, and then we'll jump from top to bottom. But the LC trade, I know that Rich L was calling this one out just before here, saying LC new highs alongside Fausto, who made that post earlier too. So yeah, just needless to be said, similar to BTBT and CAN, just at the highs right now. Lending Club, we've called the stock out off of like news or earnings in the past. Again, I don't know why the stock is up. For it to be up 33%, something's got to come out. Maybe a price upgrade or something. Maybe not. So as of 11:46 in the morning here, I'm not going to copy and paste, but it says from BNGO Pro, Lending Club shares trading higher, not seeing any company-specific news to justify the price action. There you go. All right, so, maybe there is news out at some point. Maybe there will be, perhaps. But, yeah, for right now, this thing we're just going to put back on our list here, too. LC. All right, so give me a quick sec. I know I copied and pasted this just before, and I messaged it to Fausto just before here, too, as far as the market. So, you can see the Dow ended up making a huge pop heading into like 2 o'clock, probably like a little bit before that even. So the news out essentially just has to do with the $2,000 direct payment bill So it basically just says Senator Sanders asks unanimous consent for the Senate today at 3 p.m. So obviously coming up, we'll look to focus on that just very shortly to take up the House passed $2,000 direct payment bill and vote, etc. So, for the meantime, we'll see what happens just heading into the 3 p.m. time slot, heading into the final hour of the day, of the week, of the year. So we'll try and close things out with a bang, perhaps. So, yeah, right now, at least, the market pushing up much higher. So that's a good sign. All right, cool. So, folks, what we will do is go from top to bottom now, and then from there, I want to just go through one or two more housekeeping notes, and then just wish us all Happy New Year. So, let's do it. From number one here on the gainers list, BNSO. I was going to say BNSD. I need context here. Eesh, a low float looks like one of those stocks, much like number two, ACY. Stock gets halted like 5 to 7 times on the way up. Last couple of days got halted like 3-4 times on the way down. Just an ugly trade. I'm talking about that pretty much, and this. So these low float stocks, it's incredible to see the type of run that they can make. And if you're there to catch it, around the time of the breakout or the initial breakout, then perhaps you can get a nice run up. But otherwise, the more it goes up, the more you ask, when's it going to come back down? So, personally, the more it goes up, the more I stay away. So yeah, that ACY trade history repeated itself today. HOTH, HOTH, ended up making a push early pre-market. Same thing. I don't think this one was as low of a float stock, perhaps, but ended up making the dump off right away at 9:30. Look at this. BNGO back up to 3. Are you kidding me? All right, so you know what? I wasn't as jumpy to put this on our main watch list. I mean, honestly, Fausto's first post this morning, one of them at least, was BNGO 12 million shares traded in pre-market. That's crazy, right? Right now it's trading 361 million. So it has a very high float. This stock. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I guess it can potentially trade this much and make a little bit of a move. The fact it actually is retesting 3, repoking over 3 here. That actually interests me. So maybe I'll come back to this at the very end, just check in with it, see if it ends up making more of a push up. I just feel like given the last couple of days, it's like exhausted itself out. You could see on the daily chart here too. I don't know if this was reverse splits factored in, but pop from 150, moved up to 5, pulled back down. It just, nightmare. So. All right, let's see what else we got. AINC, this one I stayed away from myself this morning. Yeah, just pump and dump. Same thing happened here after the open. So IPI trade. You know what? I wouldn't expect a whole lot. So the fact that we have the market, blasting off higher so far heading into the afternoon, hey, you got to love to see it. We'll jump through some side list stocks in just a moment, but normally, and just from experience, I've been with Fausto and CTU since October of 2014. 6.5 years, maybe we'll call it, right? Just at this point, maybe a little bit over 6 years, but either way, you've been around the cycle a few times. You know what to expect around holiday season heading into the end of the year. So, this is pretty interesting, seeing the market squeeze up. Just, I'm going to be very picky and choosy with what I see on the gainers and losers list, though. Not going to force anything out there. GCI from earlier pushed up nicely. Know that we are calling out this ELSE stock, just pump and dump. Nice scanner reset there. GEVO up 9+%. See what this is doing. On the way down now, but yeah, this one ended up making a nice sneaky move up today. I didn't follow this as much myself. Perhaps Rich called it out earlier. Maybe a couple of us caught this. I mean, there was plenty to go around, but another one from earlier this week that ended up making a huge run up from last week, from this week here too. So, rightfully so, it pulled back on Monday, and then here we are today, or Tuesday, I should say that was. All right, Western Digital, pretty name brand stock, up 10+%. Don't know what happened here. Nice push though earlier. Not really as much now, but oh, that's right, Tiger, TIGR. I'll take a look at this at least. Ended up making a nice run from earlier today. Stock that we've been following, just really from last week we saw a push, but on and off its IPO, just kind of a short squeeze type move. So ended up making a big push earlier, in and out pretty quickly from around 8. I caught it a little bit later on, but for right now, it looks pretty flat. All right, cool. We'll hop over to the losers list. We'll jump through some housekeeping, like I said, then we'll finish up. So HSTO is a 76-cent stock. It's shortable. The only reason I went to this was because it was shortable, but otherwise nothing else that looks shortable. Everything else looking pretty crappy. I wouldn't expect, as I always like to say, for there to be a whole lot on the loser side with the market pushing up the way it is. HIMX semiconductor stock I'm familiar with. Dropped off earlier. Not much that I see, at least, folks. All right, so how about this? We'll do our crypto minute here and then a couple of other things, and that's it. So let's get the Binance chart up right now. Here's our trusty Bitcoin chart here for the meantime. Figure every now and then I'll push this up here and show. So, across the day today, really, this is pretty much right around 8:30 in the morning. It's been pushing up pretty well, trying to make a push back up to its previous, now new all-time high from earlier yesterday. So for the meantime, hopefully we'll see a nice push up higher on Riot, on Mara. That BTBT trade would be pretty interesting. Obviously, with the push in the market right now, that helps the cause. So we'll take a look at Riot. We'll take a look at Mara. I'm in on this position right now. I was posting that earlier inside the trading room. I was in from, I was in from 1702. Freaking thing stopped me out for a 2-cent loss, or a 4-cent loss it was. And then it started to pop literally the second it stopped me out. I ended up jumping back in because I saw the push up, and I got back in at like 10-11. So, obviously at this point, I could thankfully say, I'm in this trade now. Things are looking good, but you got to hate when that happens, right? So, a little frustrating this trade today, right? At least from just before. Pushed up earlier today, pulled back. It was actually a good short. And for right now, at the market pushing up with Bitcoin, pushing back up, we're going to look to see this do the same. So actually, you know what? I'm going to slip this one on our main list, and that'll do. All right. Take a look at BNGO. We actually put that on our side list. So it's really tempting because it's level 1 essentially. It's tight spread, good liquidity. So, if you get in right now or right over 3, you set a tight stop under 3 or maybe under 297 perhaps. I see a 67,000 share order there, or 56 now, but nonetheless, just low risk. So maybe I'll just squeeze this on here at the end, at the bottom. All right, folks, I think that just about does it. So before I wish us well, I want to give a quick shout out actually to one of our newest gold students here at Cybertrading University. Actually, I want to give a quick shout out to Alan R. from Shoreline, Washington. Welcome aboard, Alan, to the Cybertrading University family here. With that in mind, though, keep in mind for all of us inside the trading room and all of us in social media perhaps as well, if you are interested in learning more about Cybertrading University, make sure that you talk to your education advisor. They're your main point of contact here. They'll at least give you more information about what's included with the courses that we provide when we do everything. So, Fausto just finished up the Phase 3 stock course yesterday. That's our live class. That's the final part of our live classes that we teach every month. So, hey, keyword every month, right? So coming up next month in January, we're going to start right from the top. Make sure that you dive through the recordings. Make sure that you talk to your education advisor, and they'll be able to assist otherwise. All right, folks, for all of us in social media, I wish us well, happy and healthy New Year. I wish us all officially well for all of us inside the trading room at the end of the day. But for all of us in social media, have a happy and healthy New Year ahead, most importantly. And of course, I should say, in terms of prosperity, yes, that included. So I hope that we all make a lot of money heading into next year. But most importantly, after the year that we just had, I want to wish us, all just happiness and health heading into 2021. All right, folks, for all of us inside the trading room, I will post and tweet the picks coming up shortly. I'm going to take a swig of water here. I'll jump back on the mic here just in a few moments. Take care.